Hey guys, Adam Stroney here today with a quick video, hopefully. So today I'll be installing the Maximun Motorsports steering shaft. So yeah, we'll get on with the video here. So first thing is first, we gotta come inside the car here and undo the 10mm set screw right there. And then the back two, those are 11mm, we gotta undo those. Alright, I suppose it doesn't really matter what order you do this in, but the next thing to do is to loosen the set screw down there on the part that attaches to the rack and pinion. So that screw can be found right down there. Mine is already loose because obviously I haven't reattached it, but that's going to be the next step for you. Once the set screw is loose, you can pull it loose, and this just slides back and forth like so to pull it off the rack and pinion there. Wow, that is disgusting. But we're now underneath, down by the gas pedal, and the next step is to kind of push this out of here. There it goes. It started. I think I might be able to do it by hand. Alright, I've got that apart now. Now I think we're going to have to go back to the engine and pull that through. Definitely not fun crawling under there, but at least now I'm quite certain this is loose now. Let's see here. Oh, maybe I should pull this. Alright, here we go. Pull this part up first, then pull this out. Oh man, there we go. Wow. That's a beauty right there. Yeah, I've noticed this little part fell off here. I think we have to reuse this. Alright, this is the new Maximun Motorsports steering shaft assembly. It does appear to be very quality. I'm happy with this. It's made in the USA. And if you'll see here at the end that attaches to the rack and pinion, the the connecting area is quite a bit thinner than the stock one, and that should give us the extra clearance that we need for the long tube headers. Alright, and it did come with some crinkled instructions here, so I'm going to read over those real quick to see what it recommends for us to do here. Alright, so apparently we have to reuse this boot here, take that off and slide that boot on and hold it in place with some RTV gasket maker type deal, and then let it dry for an hour, so that'll be exciting. Alright, so the little plastic, I don't know, this is almost like a gasket, is off the stock steering shaft, and I just kind of pried at it with a screwdriver, and you got to be careful not to break it. It is a little fragile, and I damaged mine slightly, but it should get the job done. It's not terribly important, I guess, unless you mind fumes getting into the cabin. Alright, my RTV is done for, but I have some other silicone, whatever. I've got this other stuff laying around that hopefully is not seized up, and it should do the same thing here, I think. Alright, I think problem solved. There we go. What in tarnation? Oh, good lord. Well, that's more than enough. Yeah, obviously we got a little bit too much on there, but I'll just spread it out. Alright, and we'll slide this bad boy on. Alright, I know it's not RTV red. Some people probably judge me for that, but this should basically accomplish the same thing. I'm not too concerned. just as long as my car steers and I don't crash and die. Alright, so I've got to wait a little bit for that to dry, but also here on the front it says it's a bare steel finish and we may want to paint it, I'm assuming so it doesn't rust, especially here in Michigan. Obviously I don't drive it in the winter or anything, but you know, still don't want my $300 piece of metal to rust. And these are the 3 colors that I have handy in the garage. Those are obviously the type of colors that I have going on in here. And there's already quite a bit of red down there. Black doesn't stick out that much, so I think we're gonna have to go with the metallic finish. If I don't like it, you know, I can change it. Alright, it said to mask off the end U-joint and the last inch of the steering shaft. Now I'm going to paint it up. It did just occur to me, you may want to paint it and then put that on, but you know. Look at that, not bad. That's just the first coat too. Pretty happy with the color, to be honest, not even gonna lie. Well, I've got to wait for that to dry and the actual paint, and then I have to flip it over and paint it again. Obviously I'm not going to show that to you guys because that'd be boring. And luckily for you guys, this process will only take a couple of seconds. Alright, the paint and epoxy are both now dry, so it's time to reinstall this. Alright, so I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to record this, but I'm going to put it in the same way I took it out. We're just going to put it through the firewall and up and in. Alright, if you'll take a quick look, I've got the steering shaft through the firewall there, as you can see. Alright, so real quickly on the old one, let me show you what you have to do to get the upper portion properly installed inside the car. So this groove right here is the pinch bolt retaining groove. Okay, and if you follow me to the car, in here you're gonna have to align that groove with this bolt, and that's what essentially holds it into place. Okay, and then before you do that, I do want to remind you to reinstall that little boot seal type thing there in between the car and the engine. So that's basically everything you have to do on the inside. This bolt here gets torqued down to 24 foot-pounds, and after that you're basically done on the inside. So the next step down here is to reattach this bottom portion to the rack and pinion down there, which is right there, right below the header. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to get working on that now. Alright guys, the steering shaft is now officially installed down there, as you can see. I had some help installing this. I was underneath the car, and then if you have a friend help hold it in place, you can line it up a lot easier and then push it into place. And then once it's in place, you can push it forward and then get the pinch bolt set in place and get it torqued down to 24 foot-pounds of torque as well. Okay, and then one other thing I did think about was if your steering wheel is not quite aligned, but as you can see, I'm missing a couple components there to see if that's actually in place. So I'm going to have to do that later, and well, to be honest, I can't tell if mine's aligned right now or not. But that's something, if you have wheels, you can probably tell a lot easier. Overall, this was actually not too bad of an install. It just took a little bit of time to get prepped, and then it went in fairly easy. Well guys, that's it for today, and I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.